Hi, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Paul Chandler Show. I'm your host, Paul Chandler. Tonight's episode, we're going to learn about asthma. However, we're going to learn about it from the clinical side. So Captain Awesome is back, and he's going to help us learn about the fun aspects of the clinical side of asthma. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Hello everyone, your best friend, Captain Awesome here again, and we're outside in the beautiful backyard so we can talk about asthma. Asthma is a condition in which your airway narrows and swell and may produce extra mucus. This can make breathing difficult and trigger coughing, a whistling sound known as wheezing, when you breathe out, and shortness of breath. For some people, asthma is a minor nuisance. For others, it can be a major problem that interferes with daily activities and may lead to a life-threatening asthma attack. Asthma cannot be cured, but its symptoms can be controlled. Because asthma often changes over time, it is important that you work with your doctor to track your signs and symptoms and adjust your treatment as needed. Asthma symptoms vary from person to person. You may have infrequent asthma attacks, have symptoms only at certain times, such as when exercising, or have symptoms all the time. Asthma signs and symptoms include shortness of breath, chest tightness or pain, wheezing when exhaling, which is a common sign of asthma in children, trouble sleeping caused by shortness of breath, coughing or wheezing attacks that are worsened by the respiratory virus, such as the cold or the flu. Signs that you have asthma is probably worsening include asthma signs and symptoms that are more frequent and bothersome, increasing difficulty breathing as measured with a device used to check how well your lungs are working, that is known as a peak flow meter, and the need to use quick relief inhaler more often. Some people, asthma signs and symptoms flare up in certain situations, such as exercise-induced asthma, which may be worse when the air is cold or dry, occupational asthma, which is triggered by workplace irritants such as chemical fumes, gases, or dust, and allergy-induced asthma, which is triggered by airborne substances such as pollen, mold, spores, cockroach waste, or particles of skin and dried saliva shed by pets, also known as pet dander. Severe asthma attacks can be life-threatening. A person who has asthma should be aware when they should be seeing a doctor. Work with your doctor to determine what to do when your signs and symptoms worsen and when you need emergency treatment. Signs of an asthma emergency include rapid worsening of shortness of breath or wheezing, no improved even after using a quick relief inhaler, and shortness of breath when you are doing minimal physical activity. You should contact your doctor if you think you have asthma, because if you have frequent coughing or wheezing that lasts more than a few days, or any signs or symptoms of asthma, see your doctor. Treating asthma early may prevent long-term lung damage and help keep the condition from getting worse over time. You should also see your doctor to monitor your asthma after diagnosis. If you know you have asthma, work with your doctor to keep it under control. Long-term control that is good helps you feel better from day to day and can prevent a life-threatening asthma attack. You should also see your doctor if your asthma symptoms get worse. Contact your doctor right away if your medication doesn't seem to ease your symptoms or if you need to use your quick relief inhaler more often. Do not take medication that's prescribed without consulting your doctor first. Overusing asthma medication can cause side effects and may make your asthma worse. You should also see your doctor to review your treatment. Asthma often changes over time. You should meet with your doctor regularly to discuss your symptoms and make any needed treatment adjustments. It is not clear why some people get asthma and others do not, but it is probably due to a combination of environmental and inherited or genetic factors. Exposure to various irritants and substances that trigger allergies, known as allergens, can trigger signs and symptoms of asthma. Asthma triggers are different from person to person, and they can include airborne allergens such as pollen, dust mites, mold spores, pet dander, or particles of cockroach waste, respiratory infections such as the common cold, physical activity, cold air pollutants and irritants such as smoke, certain medications including beta blockers, aspirin, non-steroidal inflammatory drugs such as ibuprofen, meaning for example Advil or Motrin IB, and naproxen sodium, also commonly known as Aleve. Strong emotions and stress, sulfites and preservatives added to some types of foods and beverages, including shrimp, dried fruit, processed potatoes, beer and wine, and gastroesophageal reflux disease, or GERD, a condition in which the stomach acids back up into your throat. A number of risk factors are thought to increase your chances of developing asthma. They include having a blood relative with asthma, such as a parent or a sibling, having another allergic condition, such as atopic dermatitis, which causes red, itchy skin, or hay fever, which causes a runny nose, congestion, and itchy eyes, being overweight, being a smoker, exposure to secondhand smoke, exposure to exhaust fumes or other type of pollution, exposure to occupational triggers such as chemicals used in farming, hairdressing, and manufacturing. Asthma complications include signs and symptoms that interfere with sleep, work, and other activities, sick days from work or school during asthma flare-ups, a pertinent narrowing of the tubes that can carry air to and from your lungs, which affects how well you can breathe, emergency room visits and hospitalizations for severe asthma attacks, and side effects for long-term use of some medications used to stabilize severe asthma. Proper treatment makes a big difference in preventing both short-term and long-term complications caused by asthma. While there's no way to prevent asthma, you and your doctor can design a step-by-step plan for living with your condition and preventing asthma attacks. Some of those items in that plan can include follow your asthma action plan, get vaccinated for influenza and pneumonia, identify and avoid asthma triggers, monitor your breathing, identify and treat attacks early, take your medication as prescribed, and pay attention to increasing quick relief inhaler use. And that's all the time that we have today to learn on the clinical aspects of asthma. But before I fly off again, back to you, Paul, at the Paul Chandler Show studio. Bye-bye now. Thanks, Captain, for your help on that. And we do hope that you enjoyed this episode on asthma and on the clinical side of it. Don't forget to visit our website, thepaulchandlershow.com, scroll up to the top, and fill out our short little form. Let us know what topics you'd like to learn about. So thank you for watching this episode of The Paul Chandler Show, and have an awesome rest of your night. If you like this video and want to see more, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's so easy. It's right there. The little button. Just push it. Subscribe. I got all night. Nothing else to do. Just subscribe.